Welcome back to Luxury Home Decor, where every detail of your living space becomes a statement of style. Today we're unlocking the gate, literally, to beautiful farmhouse fence ideas that transform ordinary boundaries into rustic showpieces. From weather-worn boards to modern mixed materials, we'll reveal design moves that instantly raise curb appeal. Stick around and discover why the right fence is more than protection. It's the first hello your home offers the world and the last word in charm. Our first principle is contrast. Pairing rough-sawn cedar planks with sleek matte black hardware creates a look that feels fresh yet rooted in tradition. The warm grain softens industrial accents, offering a bridge between farmhouse nostalgia and modern minimalism. This combination works year-round, but it truly shines in winter when bare gardens need a striking focal point. Consider powder-coated hinges and latches for durability without sacrificing that authentic rustic patina overall. Color stories matter. A whitewashed pine fence delivers breezy farmhouse charm, but adding a subtle gray glaze over the wash introduces depth that resists weathering. The resulting layered finish echoes driftwood and pairs beautifully with galvanized planters or zinc-topped porch tables. Spring blossoms pop against the muted palette, while autumn pumpkins look artisanal rather than kitschy. It's a budget-friendly paint project that turns plain lumber into a bespoke backdrop for every season. If sustainability tops your priority list, consider building with reclaimed barn wood. Each board carries authentic nail holes and sun-bleached streaks that mass-produced panels can't fake. Sourcing locally reduces cost and carbon footprint, while the naturally aged patina means zero chemical stains are needed. When arranged in alternating board heights, the fence resembles a picket quilt, adding whimsy without sacrificing privacy. This eco-friendly option also weathers beautifully, requiring minimal upkeep. Don't shy away from metal. Corrugated steel inserts framed by rough timber posts create an industrial farmhouse mashup that feels current yet timeless. The rippled surface scatters sunlight, adding movement to an otherwise flat run of fencing. Opt for galvanized or powder-coated panels in earthy tones, think charcoal or deep moss, to resist rust while echoing the landscape. Metal sections are thinner than wood, so they maximize yard space and make small gardens feel noticeably broader. For gardeners, integrating a lattice-top cap invites climbing roses, sweet peas, or evergreen jasmine to mingle with the structure. Choose cedar lattice pre-treated for outdoor longevity, and attach it only to every other panel to prevent visual overload. As vines mature, they soften hard lines, provide seasonal fragrance, and create living artwork that changes month by month. This space-saving vertical trick works wonders in compact backyards craving lush, layered texture. Seasonal adaptability makes a fence feel alive. Install discrete wrought iron hooks along interior posts for wreaths in winter, herb bundles in summer, or dried corn stalks during harvest. Swap decorations without new nail holes, preserving the wood. Add lantern brackets at strategic heights to cast warm evening light when daylight fades early. The ability to rotate decor keeps your farmhouse boundary relevant through shifting holidays, making the entire property feel thoughtfully curated year after year. Working on a tighter budget. Upcycle shipping pallets into charming short-run fences perfect for edging vegetable plots or defining a fire pit nook. Sand lightly, then stain with a natural oil for weather resistance. Because pallets are modular, you can experiment with height and angle without major investment. Align boards vertically for a classic picket look or horizontally for a modern twist. Either way, you'll save money and divert wood from landfills. Win-win rustic sustainability. Great design borrows from music, and rhythm plays a starring role. Create cadence by alternating board widths, wide, narrow, wide, along the fence line. The pattern leads the eye naturally across the yard, making the space feel longer. Stain all boards the same tone to keep things cohesive, or highlight the narrow slats with a slightly lighter shade for subtle emphasis. This pattern costs nothing extra, yet delivers an artisan-crafted vibe that neighbors will admire. In smaller patios, let the fence pull double duty by incorporating built-in seating. A wide horizontal top rail becomes a simple bench when set at chair height and reinforced underneath. Add outdoor cushions in ticking stripe fabric for farmhouse flair and sudden extra seating at summer parties. This approach eliminates the need for standalone furniture, freeing floor space for planters or a portable fireball, and subtly encourages guests to linger along the property's perimeter. Color influences mood, and a sage green fence trimmed with creamy rails feels calm and sophisticated. Sage blends seamlessly with surrounding foliage, visually expanding the yard, while cream detailing echoes farmhouse interior shiplap. Use exterior-grade paint with low VOCs for healthy breathing space. Complement the palette with vintage copper watering cans or terracotta pots for understated accents. This soothing scheme works beautifully from spring's first buds through the muted tones of late autumn. Want personality without clutter? Integrate decorative cutouts, hearts, stars, or custom farmhouse monograms into the upper third of alternating boards. Use a jigsaw and template for consistent shapes. Then sand edges smooth to prevent splinters. Cutouts allow dappled light to filter through, creating dynamic shadows on pathways while venting strong winds. They also provide peekaboo glimpses of surrounding countryside, linking your personal space with a wider rural horizon in a playful, welcoming way. For extra permanence, pair a low fieldstone base with vertical wood pickets above. The stone anchors the design, resists water damage at ground level, and nods to classic farmhouse foundations. Choose local river rock or salvaged masonry for authenticity. Setting pickets into concealed metal brackets behind the top course keeps fasteners hidden, yielding a clean profile. The mixed materials add textural richness, and the rugged base doubles as informal seating during outdoor gatherings. Outdoor lighting elevates any fence after sundown. Route weather-safe conduit along the backside of the top rail, then thread vintage-style Edison string lights. Spacing bulbs 12 inches apart creates even illumination ideal for alfresco dinners. The warm glow highlights wood grain, delivering cozy farmhouse ambience without harsh floodlights. Install a smart outdoor timer so lights automatically adapt to seasonal sunset times, saving energy and greeting guests with a welcoming luminous path. Every fence deserves a memorable gate. Consider an arched top framed in chunky posts and finished with a reclaimed horseshoe door pull for authentic farm heritage. A diagonal Z-brace on the backside prevents sagging and reinforces rustic aesthetic. Paint the gate a shade deeper than surrounding boards to subtly guide visitors' eyes. Flank the entry with fragrant herbs like lavender or rosemary, ensuring opening the gate becomes a full sensory experience, not just a routine action. If privacy is paramount but airflow is essential in humid climates, go with a board-on-board pattern. Install a first row of planks, then cover gaps with a second staggered layer, allowing gentle breezes while blocking direct sightlines. This technique increases material, yet the interlaced look embodies craftsmanship synonymous with farmhouse carpentry. Use cedar or redwood for rot resistance, and finish with semi-transparent stain that shows off the elegant overlapping geometry. Bold accent colors energize rustic scenes. Painting just the horizontal rails in classic barn red adds punch without overwhelming natural wood pickets. The treatment nods to heritage outbuildings, forging an instant emotional connection with anybody who grew up around farms. Red also stands strong against winter snows and autumn leaves, creating photogenic moments for social sharing. Seal the paint with UV-blocking clear coat to maintain vibrancy through blazing summer sun. Integrated planter boxes transform fences into vertical gardens. Attach cedar troughs between posts using galvanized lag bolts, ensuring drainage holes at the base. Plant trailing ivy, strawberries, or colorful annuals that spill over and soften the wood. In tight urban backyards, this technique doubles growing space without needing more ground. Rotate planting seasonally. Pansies in early spring, herbs in summer, ornamental kale in fall, to keep the living wall vibrant and budget-friendly year-round. Uniform fences can feel rigid, so introduce dynamism by varying panel heights along long stretches. Start tall near patios for privacy, step down to mid-height near gardens, then transition to a low picket near the street. The graduated silhouette mimics rolling farmland and gives passers-by teasing glimpses of your landscaping. Height variation also meets municipal code requirements more gracefully than one abrupt change, ensuring your design remains compliant while looking artistically intentional. Hardware may be small, but it speaks volumes about authenticity. Hand-forged black iron hinges communicate artisanal heritage, while hot-dipped galvanized fasteners emphasize rugged durability with a silvery shimmer. Mixing the two, black on gates, galvanized on hidden structural screws, balances beauty and strength. Always choose stainless steel screws near ground contact to combat moisture. Thoughtful hardware extends fence life, prevents squeaks, and quietly reinforces your rustic narrative without flashiness. Fences influence sound as well as sight. To dampen road noise, back solid cedar panels with recycled denim insulation sheeting before finishing with board-on-board cladding. The extra layer absorbs high frequencies, creating a peaceful oasis for morning coffee. For pleasant ambient sound, hang a row of small copper bells along internal crossbeams. A gentle breeze produces a soothing farmstead chime. Combining science and artistry elevates the fence from mere boundary to holistic lifestyle feature. Family-friendly design is crucial. Ensure picket spacing is narrow enough that curious toddlers and pets cannot squeeze through. Cap all post tops with rounded cedar finials to eliminate sharp edges, and recess the lower horizontal rail so climbing is discouraged. Install a self-closing gate hinge with magnetic latch for hands. Free security when arms are full of groceries or garden tools. These measures protect loved ones while keeping the farmhouse aesthetic intact. As temperatures drop, your fence needs attention. Apply a breathable water repellent with preservative each fall to prevent freeze-thaw cracking. Clear accumulating snow from the bottom rail so moisture doesn't wick upward. In regions with heavy ice, swap delicate hanging decor for sturdy canvas banners that resist tearing. These simple winterization habits prolong lifespan and ensure your rustic enclosure greets spring just as handsome as it looked during golden summer evenings. Eco-friendly illumination is easier than ever with solar cap lights. Choose units featuring warm white LEDs and real glass lenses for refined glow. Because they charge during daylight, installation requires no wiring, ideal for doers mindful of budgets. Position caps on every second post to create rhythmic pools of light that emphasize the fence's repeating structure. The self-contained design means your rustic boundary stays clutter-free, and energy bills stay pleasantly low. Create a sense of journey by attaching a timber arbor where your path intersects the fence. Clad the sides in staggered slats matching your panels for continuity. Then train climbing hydrangea or grapevine overhead. The vertical frame transitions visitors from open yard to more intimate garden rooms. And the shaded arch becomes a photo-ready spot for seasonal wreaths. As sun patterns shift, dappled light animates the walkway, making every entrance feel cinematic and welcoming. In areas where you want views preserved, like overlooking fields or mountains, combine wood posts with welded wire mesh infill. The grid keeps pets secure and deer out, yet barely interrupts sweeping vistas. Finish wooden framing in a neutral weathered oak stain so greenery takes center stage. The mesh pattern introduces subtle modernity, ensuring your farmhouse scene feels updated without losing authenticity. Maintenance is as simple as an annual hose rinse to remove dust or pollen. Trending for 2025, muted clay tones are replacing stark whites on exterior wood surfaces. A sun-baked terracotta fence pairs beautifully with black accent furniture and sage planters, creating a Mediterranean farmhouse fusion. The earth-inspired hue disguises dirt splash from spring rains and provides warmth during gray winters. Finish with a low-sheen sealer to accentuate subtle wood texture beneath the paint. This palette refresh keeps your rustic perimeter stylishly ahead of the curve. For serious character, insert salvaged vintage doors between standard fence sections. Strip flaking paint, then seal with marine-grade varnish to freeze distress marks in time. Mix paneled, louvered, and arched shapes for eclectic farmhouse whimsy. Place taller doors behind seating areas to boost privacy, and shorter ones near pathways for open sightlines. The mismatched collection feels like an outdoor gallery wall, sparking conversation and honoring craftsmanship from bygone eras enthusiastically. A beautiful fence deserves a maintenance calendar. Inspect annually for loose boards, protruding nails, or insect activity. Replace compromised planks immediately to prevent structural domino effects. Reapply semi-transparent stain every 3 years, choosing cooler months for even absorption. Pressure wash only on low setting to avoid gouging soft cedar fibers. And follow with a mildew-resistant brightener. A disciplined routine protects your investment and keeps the rustic charm authentically earned, not artificially preserved. Here's a trick borrowed from interior design. Exterior mirrors. Mount antique-style window mirrors on interior fence panels facing shaded corners. The reflection multiplies light, making narrow side yards appear wider and more inviting. Choose shatter-resistant acrylic models for safety, and frame them in reclaimed wood for cohesive appeal. Surround with trailing ivy to blur edges, creating an illusion of hidden doorways to secret gardens. Magical and surprisingly effective in cramped plots. Seasonal decor swaps keep enthusiasm alive. In early spring, suspend pastel fabric pennants between posts for cheerful softness. By midsummer, exchange them for clusters of dried wheat tied with leather cord. Autumn invites grapevine wreaths, and winter calls for plaid scarves draped casually like porch shawls. The fence becomes a living calendar, reminding visitors that change is beautiful and celebration needn't require grand gestures. A simple storage crate in the shed keeps ornaments organized for quick transitions. Modern farmhouse often leans toward minimalism, so reduce visual clutter by selecting boards with tight, subtle grain and concealing fasteners with dowel plugs. Run boards horizontally for a contemporary twist that elongates yard width. Pair the refined lines with monochrome planters and slimline Adirondack-inspired chairs painted charcoal. The look retains rustic soul yet feels magazine-ready, proving farmhouse design evolves without losing authenticity. A single vintage milk can at the gate nods to tradition without overpowering simplicity. Child and pet safety deserve stylish treatment. Add a hidden inward swinging secondary gate constructed of fine mesh within the primary wood gate, preventing small paws from escaping when visitors arrive. Round off all exposed corners with a gentle router pass to avoid splinters. Finally, plant non-toxic herbs such as rosemary and thyme along the base so curious noses encounter fragrance, not harm. Safety integrated seamlessly ensures parents relax while children roam free. Did you know a well-built fence can dampen street noise by up to 10 decibels? Opt for staggered board placement with overlapping seams to create acoustic pockets that trap sound waves. Line the interior with dense bamboo matting, then cover with burlap for a rustic finish. The combination hushes traffic hum, allowing evening crickets and wind-rustled leaves to reclaim center stage. Diners at your picnic table will marvel at the newfound tranquility. Decorative corbels borrowed from dilapidated porches find new life when mounted beneath fence cap rails. Their scrollwork casts charming shadows during golden hour, and the reclaimed detail whispers heritage. Paint them a contrasting but muted hue, such as weathered copper, so shapes pop subtly. Corbels also reinforce structural joints, marrying ornament with engineering in true farmhouse fashion. This small upgrade often becomes the most complimented aspect of the enclosure, outshining pricier elements.